Man, and this next story is a true testament of just how powerful the mind and body are. David Clark lost everything to addiction, all by his mid-30s. Today, he's thriving as an inspiration, as a best-selling author and endurance athlete. He's run all sorts of races, overcome the impossible, and now he's preparing for an event that's less about himself and more about helping others, especially his dying father.
I wish that strength came when we need it, but it doesn't. It comes when we search for it.
David Clark's search for strength began almost 15 years ago in Colorado, when he, by all accounts, had it all. A family, his own multi-million-dollar company he had built from the ground up, but it just wasn't enough.
And I was providing jobs for 60 employees, and I had a house, and I was married, and I had twins, boy-girl twins, like everything seemed perfect. Whenever you're looking for something outside of you to make you happy, you never arrive.
Clark turned to food, alcohol, and drugs until he turned into a full-blown addict and someone you won't recognize.
The last number I saw on the scale was 320.
It was the summer of 2005 when the now 48-year-old hit rock bottom. In the midst of a withdrawal episode of violently convulsing and dry heaving, Clark says he had a thought.
If I can go from here to someplace else, some better place, that I would in essence be giving the greatest gift in the world I could for my kids. I could show them that there's no such thing as too far gone.
Since that moment, Clark's gone to and done things most people won't. Instead of relying on substances, this warrior depends on his heart. He's now an endurance athlete, run 40 100-mile races, including the infamous Badwater through Death Valley, the Leadville Trail in Colorado at 10,000 feet elevation. He did that in under 25 hours. Most don't make it to the finish line. He got this belt buckle to prove it. And he once ran on a treadmill for 48 hours straight. How many miles?
186.
How'd that feel?
Like being put into a meat grinder. My life was so shifted to this one direction with the alcohol and the drugs and the gluttony and the ego, the no connection to self. For me to find balance, I kind of needed to go way over to the other direction.
Clark is now preparing to head to Chicago to start his next venture, this one a 2,000-mile bike ride in the dead of winter to raise money for those battling cancer, a fight that's currently consuming his father, Lauren.
My dad, who's been battling cancer for the last couple of years, we had the worst day you can ever have, you know, where you go in and all of a sudden you're talking about time.
Time is of the essence for Clark's dad, so David is eager to get on the road.
I'm watching my hero die.
And while he'll ride for his father, he's doing it for anyone struggling to make it to tomorrow.
Whether you're battling cancer, addiction, or obesity, or depression, or anxiety, or whatever is conspiring to take your precious days away from you, that there's other people out there doing the same thing. And together, we're so much stronger.